And we are live. Ooh, with Kameron.Brown.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I can't see
I,
for fuck out of these things.
I'm
They're
glad
just
you
stickers.
waited.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
glad you waited until we started to put this on.
Yeah, dude.
It's backwards just because the camera mirrors it.
Oh, so it almost says like yeehaw or some shit. Amazing.
Hey, oh.
Hey yo. If it ever takes off, I'll use that as like, not getting sued as I'm doing Macho Man. Oh,
Brilliant. So how are you, man? How was your little vacation? I didn't ask you that.
wow, dude. I really needed that. I didn't know that I was going to need it as much as I did. The way that this all started, just to catch everybody up, the Surrey job was supposed to end, and then I was going to send myself into the mountains to just have like some meditation time, and it was beautiful. Um, but then Surrey didn't happen, but I still did it. And I don't know, man, having my phone off. I don't know if I feel like my phone's been going off like crazy today, or I've gotten used to it not going off because I turned it off.
Oh, it's nice to be able to cut your phone off. We've got that camp over in the mountains, West Virginia. And every spring or fall, sometimes both, depending on how the schedule's looking. I get over there. There's no cell service. Nobody's bothering me for a few days. You just get to relax and not have to worry about messaging people and taking phone calls.
Yeah, and I almost like am jealous that you do that, like can do that. Now I know that I can't, and I'm gonna need to because it like I'm trying to find an angle that I can see you through this writing in the glasses.
I noticed you keep moving right around. I didn't know if you had like a Twitch going on over there.
No,
What
it's
was
it's perfect.
that?
Um, but I mean, it's really actually the first time that you did that, I thought that like I was worried about you. I just didn't hear back from you forever. And like this is like just after we had kind of first met or whatever. And then I get this message back from you like had the best 3 days ever, was did some fishing and the whatever. And
Yep.
it yeah, good. I don't know. I think it's necessary. I'm gonna do it more often now.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's good for your mental health, not to have that. I don't know. I feel like there's anxiety where when you're like waiting on the phone to ring like that constantly, or your phone's going off. Who's messaging me?
Well, and it's pressure, right? Like not pressure, but like stress. Or like
Hmm.
you're trying to do something and then someone's asking you and when it's a legitimate question or it's someone that needs to call or like someone that like feels like they just want to talk to you kind of thing like you're one of your buddies, but it still all adds up on top of each other like crazy.
I know. I briefly said that at the end of Nick's podcast, and I kind of felt bad because I said I mentioned the messages on Instagram that I get, and he's
Yeah,
like, it's mostly the bros, like just checking in. Like I felt bad. Like I don't feel like you can't message me.
same.
Um, you know, it's just it does take up a lot of energy on top of, the phone calls and emails and texts that you have to deal with your business. Social media is almost like having a business on top of your business.
It
And
is
you
a
and I briefly
second.
talked about, yeah,
Yeah, I've
you and
heard
I
that a
we
few
talked about that
times.
the other day. It's a lot. There's a lot of energy that goes into it.
Yeah, and I mean every other job in your life you have an on and off button, right? You're done work at 5 or whatever, you don't like keep working. So I think I need to either like implement like a timeline of it or like I'm just going to do it 3 or 4 days 5 days a week and just not do it on 2 days. I don't think it'll even matter. I don't think anybody would notice, but just actually stop. I don't know, we'll see. It was good though,
I'd be
man.
upset. I'd be upset if I didn't get to see good morning every day from you.
I know, and I like
Like
that,
I even mentioned like how I admire your ability to do that every day because I know how much that takes. Like I'm sure people reply to your stories all the time and you've got to take time out of your day to reply to them. Again, back to energy.
yeah. Well, and I love that. That's my favorite part of this whole Instagram thing is like I wake up and on the mornings that I have a shit morning and I wake up and I feel like a fucking disaster and I like don't want to do anything. Those are the mornings that are the heavy ones on Instagram where I'm just like, yup, we're gonna fucking change the world. You gotta fucking find the right
You've got
energy.
those mornings.
Oh man, but that's what I mean. And then when I've had a shit morning and I've done that, and then you hear back from people like, "Oh man, I was gonna have a shit morning. Good thing you're in such good spirits." I'm like, I'm in shit spirits. but like as a community, it kind of brings everybody together a little bit. Like I really get a lot from the stories, like personally. I go through like a month sometimes and not post anything. And I'm on those stories like 10 fucking stories, 20 stories a day or whatever some days.
Wow, yeah.
I don't know. And then some days it's
So
two. And it's
how's Illinois? That
it was good,
was
man.
your lead up. So Surrey got canceled. You went down to Illinois to work with Chad, and then you still got to go out to the mountains.
Yeah. So did you see the living room, Chad's living room?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
did we did JJ Ash and then Martinez Storm as like an accent wall. It was
Mhm.
dope, man. It was really
I'm
dope. And
about
like
to I'm about to see it in person here at the end of this week.
there you go. Yeah, he's
So
got three houses on the go.
yeah, so Colin Sullinger from Elite Drywall Finishing,
Yes.
he messaged me after listening to Nick's podcast, and he was like, "Hey, I heard that you've got a lot of tapers. Would you want to sell me a taper?" And I was like, "Dude, yeah, like I'm basically gonna give him that. I told him I'd take $500 for it for the drywall master one, dude. I'm never gonna use it. It's sitting in my building. Like
Yeah.
I've got three predators. If anything happens to any of them, all I gotta do is call Aaron. Aaron's
Yeah.
probably like rolling his eyes right now.
You know, we're just like Aaron, Aaron, Aaron. And you can, the nice thing about Aaron is you could send it to him into pieces, right? Isn't that,
Right, yeah,
was that
you don't
the
even,
first
it
one?
doesn't even have to be all the way put together. Like you can try to tear it apart on your own and then just give up on it and like call Aaron and he'll take care of it.
I'm
It's
not sure
amazing.
what
It's
happened to
crazy.
this. I think it's a warranty issue. You need to get your shit together. Love, Sean. And then send him a bag of fucking pieces. Oh,
And then drop it whenever you get it back.
that was my that was my favorite part. You're like dancing around with it or whatever, and then I was like, oh, I think you knocked it over or something almost, and then you catch it, and it was epic. That was
Yeah,
the standing
yeah, it was
ovation.
so close to hitting it head off the concrete. Just kicked it. It was like hacking, like back in the day.
That's what it was. Do you remember hacking in BC? That was
Yes,
dope.
sir. Yeah.
Okay, so now that you said that, I'm gonna write down a little note here to fucking find my hack and bring it out to out west. It's like an 8 ball. It has like the right amount of beans in it. I just like
Oh,
I don't
yes.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like way back in the day, you'd like squeeze two more out,
Uh-huh.
and then you'd fucking try it a bit and squeeze another fucking yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. You get them broke in, they're good. You know what's funny
dope.
is the stickers on your glasses are backwards, but the writing on your hat is the right way. Because I thought, well, maybe he can just mirror the video and it'll be fine. And I was like, oh no, because then his shirt and his hat are gonna be backwards. Nice try,
Welcome to
buddy.
my life. Yeah, I know. It's the best. Um, we were gonna do this before Florida, and that would have been so dumb.
Yeah, you want to talk about Florida? Do you see
Yeah,
my
man.
It's Cali shirt?
I know. I love that. I'm telling you, this is the problem with
Bro,
Ernesto's.
if I was gonna go on a date, I'd wear this shirt. Like,
That's what I was just about to say that. It's like the problem with his gear is it's so nice.
yeah, it's like a
I don't
step
want to
down from
fuck
a
it up.
tuxedo.
Yeah. Especially the new sexy signature. I was
Right?
excited for the It's Cali though. Like that's the one that I like. I like this too. It's kind of slick, but
Mm-hmm.
the old
Oh, this is
branding's
cool. It's got the Colorado flag on the sleeve.
yeah, it's like
Sharp.
Sean John gear. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, we met It's Cali. I was wondering
Yeah.
how you, yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. I'm with you. Yeah, you guys got in there super early to Florida though. Weren't you like 6:15 or something stupid?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was me, Danny, and Aaron all landed about the same time. Had a hell of a time finding each other in the airport because there's like three different levels. I think they were down on like level
Oh,
one baggage claim. And but we finally found each other, got the rental car. How did you get back there? Did you Uber
no,
to
dude, I
the
flew in with fucking Brad Kennedy and Frank
Well, right, but I mean, how did you get from the Airbnb or from the airport to the Airbnb?
with them.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Like, we were on the same flight.
oh, right
It
on.
was fucking dope. Yeah, Brad was like, are you going down to Florida too?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he sent me his itinerary. And I was like, "Oh, cool." They got the pods though. And then like the whole time we were joking about how these like the poor people like you won't get, dinner or breakfast or whatever. But apparently it's like a little pod. Like if you wanted to like sleep in it, it has like walls and shit.
Like, is that like a step up from first class? Or I've
Yeah,
never heard of
I
this.
think that's business class.
Wow.
So I don't know if business class or first class, whatever, but they are different. But
Hmm.
yeah, dude, I was like, holy fuck, that's cool. Yeah, and then we just got an Uber and we came. Oh man, when Brad got all that stuff from Costco, that was brilliant.
Yeah, Brad and Aaron both went grocery shopping, and then we had more than enough.
I know.
But it worked out perfect. We had plenty of food. Nobody was hungry.
Well, I talked to you guys. I was like, can you grab me deodorant or whatever? And you guys are like, we're grocery shopping. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we get in the car and like, I don't know, like 10 or 15 minutes later, he's like, so what were the guys doing? I was like, they're getting groceries. And he's like, I just ordered like all this shit from Costco. It's going to be there at noon. I was like, oh, okay. Like, hopefully you both got beer. I think they left. I bet you they left 2 cases of beer in that fridge. Like,
Wow.
what do you do with it all? You can't,
You can't pack. Yeah, you're not packing it in a suitcase.
no, not doing that. Um, we were all pretty exhausted.
Oh yeah, man, that was a long night of traveling. We didn't get much sleep that first day. Um, let's see, the first day we just we set up the booth.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
What time
Yeah.
were you up? I was up at like 2:30 or something. And then I left the house for 3, got to CSR, and then we drove to the thing for
Oh,
like, I don't know.
I didn't go to sleep. I
You
left
just
for the
stayed up?
airport. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna blame that's why I left Scarlett's gifts at my house. Uh, I think I left the house at 12:30, 1 o'clock. I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 1 o'clock because I had a 2 hour drive to the airport. My flight was at 5. So yeah.
Oof. Yeah, and I think the
Yeah, that
guys,
was and I thought, I'll sleep in the gate for the plane. I get to the gate for the plane, I'm just like wide awake, or I'll sleep on the plane, get on the plane. I flew Spirit this time, and Spirit sucks. I will never fly Spirit again. Like the seats were awful. It was only a 2.5 hour flight down to Orlando, so it wasn't that bad. But
still
like
shite.
of all the flights that I've taken, like this was the worst.
Um, United or I don't remember if it's United or Delta, but they've got like a step up from a like a bus. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the next level up into a plane. There's like 5 people across it. Like it's super rammed. Everything is tiny. I flew that one time and I like make sure I take a look at like the seating plan. Not to pick my seat, but like to know it's not one of those fucking things or I like won't do it. Same with time
Yeah,
of
I know to
day.
go for the exit row
Yes.
after Aaron booked that one for us. That was
Hmm.
a learning experience for me.
Um, yeah, man, and time of day. Like if it's at fucking
Hmm.
6:30 and there's one at 9 and there's a $50 difference, I'm fucking doing that 9 o'clock one every time.
Hmm.
Right? Like I'll pay a little more not to fucking wake up in the middle of the night. Well, I was fretting us going to Universal Studios. I was like, exhausted. And now we're gonna walk
Yeah.
around a fucking amusement park. Well, so Aaron was like, "Well, are you sure?" I was like, "Oh, I'm real sure. I don't." But you guys hadn't gone, so I wasn't gonna speak up about that because it's a fucking wicked
Oh, dude,
experience.
I could give a shit less about going. Like,
Yeah, me
not
too.
it would be cool to experience, but I'm just not a big amusement park guy. It's just never
Hmm.
been my thing.
I don't think Danny had gone either. I think you would have lost him in there like a puppy.
He would have been too short to ride. No.
Ah, Danny.
I'm
Just in
sorry,
case
Danny, if you're
anybody
listening.
doesn't know, it's Danny who was on Tough as Nails. That I think I think that was one of my favorite parts about Florida was like meeting Danny and like him being like super cool right away. You know what I mean? Like with that like, oh my God, is that Danny Moody from Tough as Nails? And like people would go, what? You know, and then they talked to him about it for like a half an hour, which was hilarious to us, like,
Yes.
you know. But I figured he was gonna be like, quit fucking doing that. And he's like, dude, I love that. I was like, good. He's everything you fucking want him to be, eh? He's like,
Absolutely.
oh man.
Yes. He's just great, dude. Like you can just tell he puts off a great vibe. Like you just want to be his friend.
Being around Danny, I was just sitting there like, I would love to be working right now. And just
Uh-huh.
like just watch him. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm like, I'm really excited about that. Oh, yeah, dude.
Have
So
they
for
gotten the board? Have you heard? Have they started hanging the board? Do you know?
it's supposed to start tomorrow.
Right on.
Yeah, so insulation was finished, I don't know, like a week ago, and then it was passed last week. So we're waiting on board. Last stage of the
Cool.
game.
Okay, I can book my ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let's wait till it's done. Maybe with the way that things are going, a meteor is going to hit this house as soon as it's boarded. So just
Yeah, that's true.
Ugh. um yeah, that first day in Florida was dope though. Like we went to breakfast, um, and then went and set everything up. That took like 10 seconds. You know what my favorite thing with Caden is now is that you get all that candid stuff.
Hmm.
Like when I took the knife out and was like, these things are dope. And then Danny made we did like a back and forth about like, I'd rather go tape a house or something right now. But it was caught on video. That was dope.
Yeah, it was just natural. None of that was planned.
No. And then
Except
like,
except for the smoking hot deals video. That one was.
oh, smoking hot. I'm shocked we didn't get in trouble for that. I
I
was like
know.
looking around.
There was a large amount of smoke in that room.
Oh man. There comes back. Was that a vape? Kind of. Like we got the content, brother. We got the content. um, yeah, man.
It was good getting to see everyone. Like Scott, Drywall by
I
Design,
loved seeing Scott.
Brian, Drywall Nation, getting to meet him. That was the first time I got to meet him, so that was cool. We've done some back and forth on Instagram, and it was cool to get to meet him. Who else am I missing?
It's Callie.
Oh, yeah, it's Callie.
Um, yeah, we like
Airy Drywall, that dude was cool. Matt.
dude, and then he came to dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came over for steaks that night.
Did you see that fucking video that he just posted? He's like, he's got a little bit of mud on his thing, and he's like fucking, I don't know, 4 feet away from the wall, and he hits the screw like dead on and then wipes it off.
Yeah.
I was like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here. And then he keeps
Dude, you
doing
wanna
all
know
that.
what's you know what's crazy? Is he sent me that video before he posted it. He was like, "Hey man, I just wanted you to check this." And I totally get it because when I first started making content, I did the same thing. Like I had my brother to show my videos to. I would be like, "Hey man,
Right.
will you check this out?" And 90% of the time it's like, "Yo, that's dope." Maybe, hey, change this transition here. They might have a little bit of criticism, but it was funny to me that I was that guy that he messaged the video over to and asked for my approval on it. But I was like, fuck yeah, man, that thing's legit. Like there's no criticism at all. Post it.
That screw video.
Yeah.
Oh
That
man.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's like, "Oh, I was worried it was like too long. It might not keep people's attention." And I was like, "Nah, dude,
What do
you're
you mean?
good."
Oh yeah. So when I met him, I was like, I don't even believe that this is the same person. Like he's so fucking good at what he's doing. And when you talk to him, like super chill, super like humble guy, like fucking regular guy.
Very humble. Yeah.
I was expecting him to think that he was like something else because of the like I really like his work.
Hmm.
Like I before I knew that I was he was going down there. I think I was like, is like he just started, right? Like it was like I think
Yeah,
I was like
I
his
didn't
fifth
follow him.
follower.
I never followed him until after I met him down there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I didn't know anything about him when Aaron said he was coming over. I was like, oh, I don't know who he is, but yeah,
yeah,
bring him
this guy
over.
fucking like pops out of the bushes and has this like clean, straight work. And I'm like, okay. And then like three more posts or something like that. And it's all like that. And yeah, I don't know. Like he just came out of nowhere. And I'm like, dude, this is really good work. And like that skill level of like flicking the fucking mud and hitting, I don't think I could do that. There's no way. Unless he did it a
No,
hundred
that's it's
times.
not,
But like you,
so I was gonna say that's not the first time that he's done that. Like
yeah, good call.
you've had to have practiced that. Like if it maybe it was like maybe it was just the one first time
He
shot
just,
out of the blue, but man, like respect. That dude's done that before.
yeah,
He's fucking he's worked that mud on that knife.
yeah, super cool. Um, had you met Brandon with uh SurePro? You'd worked with SurePro before, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I met him last year in Vegas. I'm
Actually,
surprised you didn't meet him last year.
um, yeah, I don't know. No, because you went over to the stilts and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna go look at stilts for?
Oh
Uh
yeah, that's right. I didn't
um,
walk on any stilts at the show this year.
I know. It was cool though. I liked this year. There was so
It was
many of
very
us.
yeah, it was very laid back this year as compared to Vegas. The Vegas was I don't know, it's a different show for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were there with the established Fresco Harmony in that big crazy booth.
That's true.
We were pretty chill and if I could just stand there.
Yeah, the Columbia booth brought some different energy this year as opposed to last.
Oh yeah. Um, you're the reason that I talked to SurePro. Because I remember talking about stilts and then you saying that they got the double.
Mhm.
And then I messaged him and then because he's involved with the Surrey site now. Um, and when he called me about it, or no, he messaged me about it, and I looked up, and there was like a message from like May of like 2 years ago, or like last year, May or something like that. Uh, so it was cool, man. I talked to him for a little bit on the phone, but like meeting him was really cool.
Isn't it crazy how that works? Like
It
that's
just
like the troll
it
thing
all
for me. Like
interweaves.
yeah, like I had a message from Troll. Well, no, Troll tried to message me like way back, and I never got it. But then Sean messaged Troll and was like, "Hey, you should talk to Cam." They're like, "Oh, we already tried to. We'll message him again." You know.
Yeah. Well, and to be clear, the Gilbert girls would vouch for both of us, I think is what happened. And then you
Hmm.
just didn't get the message, or or maybe yours was from before. Yeah, I don't know, man. But it makes sense though. Tron's fucking huge, and his like profile picture is that. So I didn't think it was real. I messaged Teak right away and was like, "Is this your fucking go between for Troll, dude?" Yeah.
He is
Like,
stacked, dude.
are
Yeah,
you
you're right.
fucking sure? Yeah. So yeah, I would have thought that was like a like a gym influencer or something, like a business
That's
like
kind of where
that.
my head went
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
He's a solid dude, man. He does live streams every little while. Oh yeah, yeah, you know,
Hmm.
you're fucking
I started to tune in today, but Chad called me. He had just picked up the Gilbert girls from the airport, and so I just contacted Chad like earlier today about all this. Like we just put all this together. So I'm going out there. I don't know. Did I go into detail on this
no,
already?
I want to, and I'm happy you brought us back there. So
Okay.
Cullen's gonna
Yeah.
buy your taper.
Colin's gonna buy my Drywall Master taper. I have no use for it. It's just gonna collect dust.
Yeah, you should crush it, but $500 is $500. I'm
I
just joking.
really just want him to
Just
get a good
joking.
deal on a taper. Like I really just
Yeah,
want some. I feel like there's like a burden of me having it and it just
yeah.
sitting in my garage collecting dust. So I'd rather it be like out there being used.
Tell him to make some content for it, and
And he will. You know
he
that he
will.
will.
Yeah, you fucking
And so I think it's a good thing. Not so much for Aaron because he's not going to be making Columbia content, but I think Aaron will be all right.
I think Aaron will be all right.
I hope. Um, where was I going? Oh, so Friday, I'm going out there Thursday. Friday, Chad and I are going to work together. The Gilbert's going to be there working. So I don't know if we're all going to work together, if we're going to split up and work on different houses, but he's got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
So I might stay over the weekend. I can't imagine I'll stay any longer than like Wednesday next week,
Yeah.
just because I think
But
we'll be leaving for Surrey right after that, right?
yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, like,
So I'd
I
like to be
would,
home for a couple days before we go out to Surrey.
yeah, and like go and assess the situation. There's tons to do. Like, you know, you're good to go. And then the nice part about like just doing day-to-day stuff like that is you can go whenever you want. Like you're just kind of
Right.
lending a hand, right? So it's like,
Mhm.
that's dope, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. We've been I mean, obviously I didn't have any work scheduled because of the Surrey job. And
Yeah,
then it
same.
doesn't help that we're in like a springtime slump. I think like the whole interest rates rising is like starting to hit. Like I talked to the other contractor in my area and he's slow right now. And it doesn't help that like nobody was like doing any foundations through the winter. Like it's spring, you know. There's
Yeah.
not that much work going on.
Well, and like when you're digging holes, like you don't want to be pouring concrete and doing all that shit in the wintertime. Like ideally,
Mm-mm.
you don't want to be doing that. So,
No, and at this point it's April, you know, most of the houses that were framed up before, you know, closed in before winter are
mhm,
finished up past drywall at this point. So it's
right.
just it's that time of year.
It's the circle of life. That's the nice thing about this
Yep.
traveling stuff, though. Like the opportunities that there are, like a guy like Chad, where he's got a couple of houses on the go and he's gonna sub them out to somebody, right? So it's like, why
Hmm.
would you not do it? If the numbers, like you just take a look at it like any other job. If the numbers make sense, do it, right?
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
like that first adventure, man, it's hard to beat that. You make a bag of money with a couple of people you really like.
Yeah.
That's
It
that's
was
a hard
fun. It
hard
was good, fun work, you know.
and it would
I'm
also be
excited to see the Hollywood too in person. That's gonna be cool.
we went there and
Yeah,
it was awesome. Like the way that
I
they've
bet.
done it, and it's done. That was the thing I was going to say about Chad's living room is I never ever get to see the fresco as like part of a room. I see it as like dirty floors and unpainted ceilings or whatever. So like to see it in a living room was like this looks fucking awesome. Because
Hmm.
you're not just staring at the wall that looks kind of busy or whatever people say. You're seeing the room and it's just like the walls are pretty. And then the
Hmm.
Hollywood did that, where when we were done, it all looked dope. Like I knew that the fresco was good, and then like the pop off of the wood and that kind of shit. But when you see it with like tables and neon lights and like all the other stuff that's around it, it's like you're gonna love it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm excited to see it for sure. Did he ever refinish the bar like underneath the bar top, or did they just clean it up and call it good?
I don't know, to be honest. It
Huh.
looks really good. So
Yeah.
he either cleaned it up real nice or he redid it.
Hmm.
That So, anybody's wondering what we're talking about, Chad makes tons of samples, and it was like this beautiful black sample with what kind of looked like a white veining through it. But the sample's only what, like 2 by 2 or something like that, and the bar was
Yeah.
probably like 100 feet. So trying to do that over and over and over again, it wasn't the same. It was like it was kind of stripy.
Yeah, you can almost see a pattern to it. It looked good. Don't get
Oh,
me wrong,
it
but
still
like
looked really
I
good, but
know
it
where Chad was coming from when he
yeah.
said he wasn't happy with it. So
And I think it was Chad that made the decision too. I think she was happy with it. And he was just like,
hmm.
no, no, I don't like it.
Yep.
Like,
And I
all
get
right.
it 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the Hollywood was fucking dope. They've got
Yeah,
a
I'll be excited to get out there and see Chad again, eat some pork burgers.
I know.
Did you leave me any out there?
I did. We went to that guy with the thing again with the cooler.
Really? The
Yeah,
street pork burgers?
the street fucking pork burger guy. It's
Uh,
crazy that they do that, and like,
I
and
know they just sell them right out of a cooler there on the
yeah,
town corner.
the guy's hustling pork burgers, and then like goes to something for the community. Like he's just sitting
Yeah,
there.
it's a charitable thing. Like,
Yeah, man,
um,
I'll take four.
it's just a funny setup. Like,
There's like 100 in that cooler, so I don't know
for
if like
sure.
what he fucking does with it. Maybe he probably donates the ones that he doesn't. We're gonna make up a whole backstory for the pork burger guy.
Chad said, "Yeah, you can come in on that Thursday, and we'll just kind of take it easy that night." And I said, "Easy that night or a normal Newton Thursday night, Chad?"
We behaved pretty good this time. It was good.
Yeah.
The
Well, there
eclipse.
wasn't the three of us together.
I know. Yeah, man, you don't drink, but when you do, I'm like, this is rock and roll. I'm in.
Yeah, it's on. I don't drink very often. No, I I just don't handle hangovers very well.
Mm. So
I
this
was
is
gonna
that.
tell the Gilberts to. I was gonna warn them that when you came out there, you came back with a nicotine addiction. That's how hard Chad works. Yeah.
He's just like, hey, you got any bad habits? No? Do you want some? So yeah, fucking bring it on. I've pretty much like I vape a little bit now, but I'm big into the rogues. I really like them, especially like throwing into work or whatever.
Hmm.
That focus I get from the nicotine, I absolutely know why I smoked when I worked. And like when I was at home, I wasn't smoking. And like on the drive to and from work, I wasn't smoking. But the second I got on site, I'd light a cigarette. And I did that for like
uh,
two years.
dude, before I quit, I was smoking like a freight train. I'd smoke a pack a day easily. Um, I was burning one about every hour at work. If I was
Jesus.
on the way to work, I'd light up like three or four, like on an hour drive, like just smoke them back to back. Glad that I quit. That's been 4 years ago. Now, if I get drunk and I ask for a cigarette, night's over. Like, don't give it to me.
I'll
You
light you a
know I'm too
cigar.
gone. Probably
uh,
be even worse.
I know you're like, I'm inhaling it. Oh man. Yeah, nicotine is good. Um, we were talking about Tool Pro.
Yeah. Tool Pro just messaged me about doing some collaborations. I've been wanting to talk to the Gilberts and Teak and just
Mhm.
kind of see what their experience has been like with them. And you've worked with them a little bit.
Yeah, man, Sam's a good guy.
Yeah.
He called me. I think they found me through Teak. Um, I'm pretty sure that's how I met Teak. Um,
I love how
and
we call her Teak and her real name's
I
Steph.
know
Like I just can't get it in my head to call her Steph. Like I'm having the hardest time when I meet her, not
Teak's
calling her Teak.
Teak's a way cooler name. I mean, Steph's a good name. Steph's a good name, but well, I mean,
Teak just seems more fitting.
everybody calls me Brawley's dad, dude, and I fucking love that shit.
That's true. Yeah.
My friend, I don't mean to say my friends don't, but I mean like, you know, anybody that's got my phone number typically doesn't. Nate loves to. Nate, that's fucking. I love it. I think it's cool. Um, but yeah, Sam called, man, and he was just like, I didn't really know. He was really the first company that ever reached out to me. Um, and he was like super fucking happy to talk to me and like was really nice. And I was asking expectations and like I was asking questions like in a way of like, you know, what exactly are we talking about? And he was like, just do whatever you're doing. And we just want to be a part
Hmm.
of it. And they talked about
That's
doing
that's
stuff with
how
the podcast. Yeah.
that's how our conversation went. He just wanted he wanted genuine content. He wanted natural content. Things, didn't want it to be forced. No obligation. Seemed really good, like good dude and easy to work with.
Yeah. And I mean, there was no notes. Anything that I made and was tagging them to, it just no notes at all. Yeah,
Hmm.
you know, super nice.
Yeah, just be you. Like the easiest companies to work with. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, man. You know Hayden from Duratag?
Yeah, yeah.
So he's jumping on with them too. I'm really impressed with Hayden. Like for how
I am
young he
too. Like
is, and
he's like another one that kind of came out of the bushes.
yeah.
I feel like for me, I didn't know of him and then he just popped up and he's got this cool content. Dude's doing cool shit.
Yeah, man,
Seems like he's grinding.
we talked about that on the podcast. No, oh yeah, the work has always been like
I didn't
it's
expect him to be as tall as he is. My
holy fuck
goodness.
is he big, eh? He's tall,
Yeah.
he's lanky. I know you're
Mm-hmm.
listening and you're gay. No, but dude, I love him. I even had him out to site. We fucking taped a house out together. He's legit.
Yeah.
When I had him on the
That's
podcast,
who we saw. That's another person we met in Orlando that missed
yeah,
the list.
see,
I'm sure that there's more, dude. I feel bad for the people that aren't hitting the list.
Hayden, I hope you're listening, and I hope you think we forgot. See, we would never forget. I got a message from him the other day where he's like, "Hey man, it's been a while since you bullied me. Kind of miss it." I was like, "Cool, bro." And then he called me at the airport. We talked for a bit. Reason I bring him
Nice.
up, he's gonna hop on Tool Pro 2, and it sounds like Aaron's sending him an auto taper.
Ooh.
Yeah, man, he's gonna be rocking and rolling in like
Aaron will probably send Colin one after I give him the straw.
no, Aaron will respect the fact that a new influencer is getting a different brand's tools, and then every 4 months he'll send him merch. I love it. No, I think Colin uses Columbia stuff anyways, but
Hmm.
it is a nice taper. I went and took a look at it.
Hmm.
It's nice.
Yeah, I'd like for it to be used and not just sitting in my boat. Like I said, I feel like there's like a burden of it like sitting there, like just staring at me every time I grab my Predator and
I mean, I
I'm
would
over
kind
it.
of
And
feel
it doesn't
bad.
even have googly eyes on it.
Yeah. But there's going to be stuff like that where it's like if somebody wants your I remember that first time that we left Vegas, a bunch of people were telling you we'd like to get a hold of you and like, you know, pick and choose what you want kind of thing. And I think we had that conversation of like if somebody's asking you for your opinion on their tools, that's fine. You know, I'll run it and I'll tell you all the things about it that I like and dislike, but like that's where I think that starts and stops. And then if you then want to make a bunch of content, you're more than welcome to. But like
Mhm.
the discussion on like your opinion of the tool shouldn't have anything to do with content. Like I
No, that's
did,
how it felt. Like I got calls every couple weeks from Drywall Master, like, what do you think of our tool? Like, and it's like, man, if I was overly impressed with it, I'd have been sharing it with everyone.
yeah.
I really haven't ran it. And it's a nice taper, don't get me wrong. It's good.
Hmm.
It's just it's got its place, and that place is in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
And my hands are meant to be wrapped around the Columbia Predator.
The smoking hot deals. Oh, that was
I'm
cool that you
excited to get one of those carbon fiber compound tubes. Like that thing is slick. Like
uh,
I've got the old Columbia compound tube, and I think it's pre like breather hole in the back. You know, it's got that like
yeah.
thing that lets air out. And I don't use it much because of that, because it doesn't, it's harder to push. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
reason they came up with that. So I'm really excited to get the carbon fiber one.
Brad and I were talking about that and he's saying that like the way that things run, it runs better on carbon fiber. So it's not just that it's lighter, like there's more about it than it being light. So we wrote that down. Next quarter on that podcast, it's almost all going to be about carbon fiber and like a deep dive into it, I think. But I
Mhm.
mean, he gave me that one to try, and it's fucking nice.
Oh, I bet.
It's really nice. I'm not sure I'm gonna get another one. I think I'm just gonna get this
Uh,
one. But I'm happy because it's like Mark One. You know what I mean? Like they laser etched the side of it because we didn't have stickers, and it's
uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
it's a
know. I love how that's done. I'm hoping mine has my logo engraved in it.
it almost just like digs into it though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
If
But
if
it's
not,
still
I'll just put a
cool.
sticker on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool for sure.
sticker it up. That new Columbia one handle, the non-adjustable, is almost weightless.
hmm
Like when you're
Yeah,
holding
the
it, it's
fixed the
like
fixed handle. Yeah, it's paper light.
I was like, holy
But I don't
shit.
really use that handle though, to be honest. I like the extendables.
Yeah, I have a long and a short, and then like a bunch of the 3 to 5s. And that's typically what I use is like a really long one if I need it, or a short one that extends. Because
hmm
I don't know, it just gives you that little bit of everything. I think a
Yeah.
fixed handle, like if you were crushing a hotel or something and everything's 8 foot ceilings, and like that for the next 3 weeks or something, like I would be running,
Yeah.
I'd be running fixed too, man.
hmm
Because you would then like get the muscle memory of how to do it perfectly if it wasn't extendable.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
it's always changing. I don't know, maybe you wouldn't. Um,
I feel like the biggest deal breaker would be if you had like small closets that you couldn't. Like that's where that 3 to 5 foot handle comes in so clutch. Is when you get in a
yeah.
closet, you can collapse it down, hit the legs, not be bashing into the wall.
That little tiny the nightstick
The
or whatever.
stubby handle, yeah.
Dope. Dope
You
for
know how much I've
closets.
used that?
Actually, is it
I
really?
haven't.
I
Yeah,
use it
I
all the
dude,
time.
I just always forget about it. Like it's just one of those tools that I forget that I even have. And I haven't even tried it yet, and I'm upset about it. Like I also haven't been running out like big board footage jobs. I've been doing
Yeah.
smaller Reno stuff. Um, but I am excited about that little stubby handle. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, so because I can fucking reach it, I put that little hook on it, and then I'll throw like the 2 inch angle head or whatever I'm doing um after tape day, and then just like stick it in there and run it around the ceilings and the front where the closet doors are. And then you can reach everything else as long. But like up in
Mhm.
that ceiling is always a pain in the ass. Then like
I'd love to throw my little tomahawk on it, my 7 inch that I like
yeah,
tape down with,
the
like on
tomahawk
an 8 foot ceiling.
yeah.
Yeah,
I ran a
I feel like
box
that'd be
on it.
ideal. Oh yeah.
Um, hold on. Sorry. Um, yeah, when they sent it to me, Jill was like, do as much of the with this as you can, and I put the 5.5 on it for my no coats, and it was fucking dope with the tomahawk. Now, like it was like a scrape, like there was no break on it, but there's handles that don't
hmm
have breaks.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was right here. Yeah, I don't know. It's got its place.
I'm gonna have to kick that around, yeah. Putting a box on it. I feel
Nail
like you could
spotter.
grab the lip and kind of nail spotter for sure.
Hmm.
But I feel like you could grab the lip on the box, kind of control the back plate with your palm of your hand.
Yeah,
Kind of use it that way.
I did the throttle box on it too, which was kind of cool. But I mean, like obviously you wouldn't. It's very specific if you need it for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I
hmm
like that idea of like putting your
I'm
palm
thinking
up.
back to meeting Mark from Tape Deck.
I know. I was like, can I see that handle? He's like, yeah, here you go. I'm like, good, because
Then
I'm gonna
told us
make
the
my
whole
own.
backstory.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
was cool, man. I like Mark
That
for that.
was like I was so happy to hear that story and like know that that's how that tool was invented. Like it was
Yeah.
cool.
He was going to come on the podcast last year. We emailed back and forth, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to reach out to him again. Oh, I'm going to threaten to make a new handle. Be like, listen, you got to come on the podcast. I'm going to rip off your handle. I just buy it and then cut it down halfway and put a little palm thing. Boom. New handle, Mark. This is your only warning.
Spray paint it black and put a Predator sticker on it.
That's right. Don't fuck around. I kind of want to get into that though. The Elm Carpenter, I think is his name, and he's fabricated something that's got like 2 bars. It's like a little thing, and it's waiting at CSR for me. I just haven't gotten out there. I'm going out there tomorrow, so I'm gonna pick the thing up. But it's a little box handle.
Hmm.
So I'm interested to see what it is. Um, but I think it
Did you
like
like give
an
him a box and like all the how'd you? I guess if he's a fabricator, he could probably just make whatever he needs to.
yeah, he's a taper. He just made it on his
Oh,
own. So he's like, "Do you want one of
cool.
these?" I just invented it.
I just assumed he was a carpenter by the handle.
Oh yes. No, it's yeah, it's like made out of metal, but he finishes too. So I think he's making it for himself and he thought it was neat. So
Huh.
I'm gonna
I'll be
fucking
You have
I'm
to send me a
excited.
snap of that. Be
Hmm.
excited to see it.
Hopefully it's not top secret stuff because I'll probably be showing it off. Oh man. Yeah, I think building your own shit's fun, but do you remember way back when we talked about the angle head and you were just like, I'll just buy a new one. I'm not like taking shit apart and putting shit back together. I
Yeah.
don't need to be inventing shit. I don't have any more time. I don't want to be,
Yeah, my time is better spent taping or making content
yeah. I would like to fuck around
or
with the
with my
handle though.
family.
Yeah, exactly. At the beginning of this podcast, I'm like complaining about not having enough time. And then here we are, God knows how long in. And I'm like, I'm going to fabricate new handles and like just adding shit to the plate all the time. Um, what do you think your favorite part of um Florida was?
Missing my flight to get the pedicure.
I still have a video of that, and I'm gonna make a reel and put it on my personal page because you can't share stuff from my personal page, and if you're not on it, you won't see it. I've thought about it because that was dope. That was a dope way to
Oh,
wrap
dude, that
things up.
was. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing was exciting, really. The first day of the show is always fun.
Yeah, it's brand new and
It goes by quick. Yeah.
mhm. Well, and like you turn around, Josh Martin. Josh Martin, we forgot about.
Josh Martin. Yeah, Josh Martin was there.
When I turned around, I was like, "Holy shit! How are you?" I was more
Who's
excited to
the
see him.
who's the other one? Scott Murray?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scott
I feel
Murray.
like the name's not right. Um,
Like the photographer from last year.
no, that's Scott Montgomery. I'm
Right, right,
talking
right,
about the
right.
older gentleman.
Oh
Um,
yeah, he hung around the booth forever.
yeah.
Yeah, man. No, that was wicked. And the guy at the end, my biggest fan, was easily my favorite part. Not, no, no.
The dude from Ames.
Oh my God. What a nice guy
He's gonna
though.
be listening to this, man.
I hope he does. That was legitimately like a good feeling. It was a
That
little
was, dude. That
awkward.
was cool.
Yeah, it was a little awkward.
You
I'm
were
not
starstruck.
I'm not gay, you know. I'm like, all right, what's up, bro? He's like, I think I know you from Instagram. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, and yeah, what a fucking great guy.
I have a wife.
I know. I'm like, dude, it's totally cool. Like, I really appreciate that you said that. Um, I was the same way going to Black Friday for the first time. I was like, I didn't want to like talk to anybody. I didn't want to bother anybody. I didn't even say hello to Phil.
Right.
I didn't even go over and say hello because I was just like,
Oh, I'm the same way. I mean, you
yeah,
don't want.
you're
Yeah.
you're a fish out of water, man.
Hmm.
Now I'm like obnoxious, which is fine, right? It's like it's on brand. But yeah, man, there was a lot of people. That was a really good show. That house was dope. Instead of doing two separate houses, getting that big
Yeah,
one.
one 10-bedroom house or whatever it was.
Yeah, shout out to Aaron and CSR.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks. Even though you promised we'd go to Disneyland and you didn't take us. When he was, you remember? So I think they're only allowed to sell so many tickets, and that started to make sense after COVID. Now that I started thinking about it, but like when we were joking with him, we were like, it's like when your kids want to watch a movie again, and you're like, no, that movie's broken. It doesn't work.
Oh, they're sold out of tickets.
Yeah, there's no more. Oh man. I
I
I
told Sunil that, and he was like, "What do you mean they were sold out tickets?" Disneyland doesn't sell out tickets. I'm like, dude, we were tired. We
I
didn't.
didn't want to
I don't
go.
even.
I was
Yeah, I
grasping at
didn't want to go.
straws.
Bottom line, I didn't want to go.
Yeah. I was
The
going
pool
to.
sounded a lot better.
Oh man, as soon as we got back to that house, I was like, I want to be in that pool right now. And then it was like, let's go do everything we need to do. And then I was like, we're going back to the pool. And then we started talking about going to fucking an amusement park and walking around for 4 hours. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that at all.
I'm running on caffeine. Man, speaking of
Mm,
caffeine, so Thursday, well, no, like earlier this week, I decided that I was going to switch to decaf coffee.
there you
Why?
go.
I don't know. Um, that's the only caffeine source that I get. I've drank coffee for
You drink a lot of coffee,
probably,
dude.
yeah, I drink a lot of coffee, probably 7 years. I've probably drank coffee, and I just drink black coffee. It's normal for me to drink like 32 ounces of coffee in the morning, like two big 16-ounce cups.
Yeah.
Um, so this week I decided I'm gonna cut. I had like a little anxiety spike. And I felt like it was due to like too much caffeine.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'll just start cutting back. I'll do half decaf, half regular, in the morning. And
Yeah. Give yourself
always
one.
always go, yeah,
Just
always
cut
going
it.
good. And then Thursday I'm like, you
Hmm.
know what? Today's the day. We're doing all decaf. And dude, like 6 o'clock that evening, I started getting this awful headache, and I was like, nope,
Really?
I can't do this. Back to caffeine today. I'm still doing half and half. But the decaf coffee also kind of concerns me because I've read into it, and in order to get the caffeine out of the bean,
Hmm.
they have to like soak it in, I forget, chemicals or something, like something
Oh,
not good. And it's like,
no, thank you.
are you really doing yourself a favor by switching? I don't think so.
Have you looked into like mud water or anything like that? Because they're like,
I've seen that mushroom coffee or whatever.
yeah, man. I mean, have you run nootropics at all? Like done any of that stuff, like lion's mane? And
Mm-mm.
yeah, I would.
Oh yeah, I got into like the powdered supplements of mushrooms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the same thing. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, nootropics. I got some Alpha Brain like a long time ago. Was the first time that I did it, and it was like it was way better than coffee. I almost stopped drinking coffee immediately.
Hmm.
But it doesn't keep you awake. It's just that like focus, like
Yeah,
like clarity that I thought that the caffeine was giving me. But they have like a coffee substitute. And I've heard from a couple people it's pretty good.
huh, maybe I'll have to check into that.
Here I am
I do
talking
drink
to,
a lot of coffee.
yeah, I just want you to eat all the mushrooms.
Sean
um,
is always a supporter.
yeah, I'm chewing mushrooms. Um, yeah, man. I'm happy to hear that. That's caffeine's a motherfucker, man. Like that first year of business, my cousin and I would like stop and get like six Rain energy drinks, and like sometimes we'd go back for more. Like we would split it, so like three, but like three in an 8 hour period is like that's crazy. And then getting a coffee on the
Dude,
way in, like
how many construction workers get caught in that loop of going to the gas station every morning, buying two or three energy drinks,
yeah,
a little Debbie cake, an awful breakfast. Maybe you get a tornado from the roller grill, um, something full of preservatives, a bunch of sugar.
yeah.
Then you're spending $15. You're probably gonna buy a pack of smokes or nicotine, some sort. You're
Hmm.
probably $20 in almost every day at the gas station. Dude, I did that for I don't know how long before I finally like woke up one day and I'm like, dude, we've been going to the gas station and spending 10 to $15 every morning for the
Yeah.
past like 2 years. Like, come on. Finally quit drinking energy drinks and doing that.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
dude, it's true. You mean you run into the same people every morning at the gas station. I mean, it's a thing. It's like
so
it's a blue collar loop.
when I go down to Illinois, like it's pretty much like $200 a day almost. Really, if you're eating out. But then if you go to the grocery
Hmm.
store or like sit down at like a restaurant, things seem to be very cheap and there's like huge portions of shit. But like when you go and get fast food or when you go into the like corner store, stuff is the same that it costs up here. That's a 30% markup. And it's like normal. It's so expensive doing that. Like, and you don't think about it because it's $20 at a time or $25 or
Right.
whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah, it adds up pretty quick. And I mean, you're gonna have a couple of beers at night too, like that throws you over the top for sure.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I like the last couple of days that I was there, I went and got a couple of like nice, like those soft granola bars. They're like the harvest bars, but they're like there's like peanut butter on them.
Hmm.
Um, and then muscle milk and one of those coffee, like pre-made coffee things, like the cold brew coffees. I got like the rest of the day's worth of those in the morning. It was super good. But then,
Hmm.
some protein, fucking whatever.
Yeah. I've been fasting. Like I fast
Hmm.
until lunch. Like I feel like that's black coffee. Just I mean it suppresses your appetite. Um
Hmm.
but yeah, just fasting till lunch, dude, I feel like that's really good for your gut to let everything get out of there.
I'm starting carnivore again when we get off this podcast. I got to stay
Oh
clean.
yeah?
Yeah. Um, I just like I felt way better, and I really ate like shit while I was in Illinois, and I like
Hmm.
really felt it by the end of the week, and I was just like, man, I'm so tired of this. I'm gonna like I think I'm gonna hop back on, and like I don't know, I'm not gonna be super ridiculous about it. Like if I want to have something, I'll just have it, but do like 90-10 or 80-20, something like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be good. Can't beat a steak every night.
You've been hitting the gym?
A little bit. I
I'm sure it
keep
was hard when you're out of town.
Well, that's the fucking problem, man. Like I get into this good groove and I like find myself again, and then like something happens every time. So that again tomorrow morning, I'm just going. I'm gonna wake up at like 5 or 6, and then I'm not starting my days anymore without going to the gym. I'm
I better see this on your story tomorrow. You better give it a good
I
morning,
know,
and I better
man.
see you working out.
I know.
You got to hold yourself accountable, man.
I know. So I'm
You've said
saying
it
it on the
before.
podcast. Oh man. Yeah, but I think like I'd like to be in better shape. Like just feel better.
I've just been working out at the house. I've got a set of dumbbells. I don't do much. It's enough though. I mean, you can do push-ups, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's still a lot of people. You don't need a gym membership uh to do it. Like there's small stuff that you can do at the house to get yourself in the routine before you go spend that money.
I love going to the gym. It's like the church, man. Like I love being there, the feeling of being there, the feeling when you leave. Like you want to swap something up or do something specific. If I'm at
Hmm.
home and like I've got a 35-pound dumbbell that I kind of use as like a kettlebell,
Hmm.
um, and like push-ups and body weight squats, but it's not the same thing. And like I won't
No.
do that for an hour. Like, do you know what I mean? So,
Well, that's what I'm realizing is like you don't have to. Like I can hit a solid half hour workout and feel it. Like I'm not
dude,
trying to build at this point. Like I'm trying to maintain, just trying to keep myself in shape,
it,
limber, able to do stuff, you know?
if you found a guy like my cousin and you had a couple of kettlebells and like a sandbag, he could like gas you out in 20 minutes. Like
Hmm.
you can get a solid workout in, even like you said, with nothing really. Like
Yeah.
if you want to do like squats to burpees to push-ups or some fucking thing, like you can kill yourself pretty quick at home. I just like
Hmm.
the environment, but
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
better than nothing. I totally hear what you're saying.
Hmm.
I just like the change of scenery, and like there's so much going on. If I'm in the gym and somebody's texting, I'm like, no, I'm at the gym. Right? As
Hmm.
opposed to I'm at home, I'm like, oh yeah, we'll see what that is.
You get distracted cleaning or something,
Oh
forget
yeah.
you're working out.
Arnold had this great video one time, and he's like, you see these people at the gym like this? This is Mickey Mouse stuff. So anytime I'm on my phone, it's like quickly to like switch a song or like I do those. It's like a set rest counter, interval timer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will. I'll start fucking around on my phone, man.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Good times, man. Florida was so cool, man. I really
Yeah, I'm
enjoyed it.
excited to see what's gonna happen. Where's that next year? South Carolina, I think. Charleston,
Hmm.
South Carolina, maybe. That's gonna be fun.
It's in
Even closer.
It's Carolina. So I don't know if that's a different thing. Is Carolina and
Well,
then there's South Carolina, or
there's
is it
North
like,
Carolina and there's South Carolina.
oh,
Um,
so Carolina is
so
like it's like Ontario and Northern Ontario, but there's a line there.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. Um, yeah, Brian from Drywall Nation. I didn't even bring him up yet. That was a pleasure. I've met him before. But I've always met him when he had like his tap dancing shoes on. You know what I mean? Like when you're like at an event or like what I've never seen him outside of that kind of stuff. So like getting to know him, and I really appreciated when he said that our fresco work was shit. I was like, thanks, dude. I'm
That was real
standing
nice of
right
him.
here.
I mean, no
Uh,
offense, but I've never seen any of the
yeah,
work you guys do and thought that it looks good.
I know. But and I get it, and I really appreciated that he was honest about it like that.
Yeah, no, I feel like I mean, comparing fresco to Venetian plaster is like comparing beer to champagne,
Yeah, totally.
you know?
Well,
And
no, go
go ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, there's no comparison. Like you're not paying the price for fresco that you're paying for Venetian. And fresco's not Venetian, you
Yeah.
know? It's a different product.
I think like he was even saying this that like high gloss like looks like a tile.
Mhm.
That is what I kind of think Venetian plaster is. When I close my eyes and think about Venetian. But like it's all kinds of different mediums, and like I kind of feel like you have that super gloss, and then you've got fresco over here, and then as you kind of trickle into things like Roman clay and like what the micro cement, I saw a micro cement sample board and then made a fresco sample board with the same kind of color. It was awful close, man. Like they did it quite heavy, right? Because
Yeah.
that was the texture they wanted. And I mean the fresco did the same thing, and it was like 10 times cheaper.
Hmm.
So I think there are places where they overlap, but I mean when you're talking like really high end Venetian plaster, that's not what fresco is, man. It's fucking mud. It's mud with color.
No,
Get it?
fresco is not something that I mean, yes, you can do just one wall in your house, but
Yeah.
you can also afford to do your entire house with it.
Well, and that's the thing. Like the Hollywood, you never would have been able to do the Hollywood in
No.
plaster. Well, you would have been there fucking 3 months.
Hmm.
It would have been whatever, probably more than what she's paid for the building. Because I think she only bought
I
them for
think the
like 20 or
fresco
30
was more
grand.
than what she paid for
Yeah.
the building.
That's true. Um, yeah, that was cool though. And then we kind of like broke it down with him though, too, right? By the end of the night, we had him in a fucking Fresco Harmony shirt and shit. That was
Yeah.
that was so much fun. Um, we when I was down in Illinois, I don't know if you saw the story, but Nick sent a Fresco box. And then we opened it up, and I was like, "Oh, Nick, thanks for the invisible sweaters or whatever, and
Yeah,
all this
yeah,
shit." And then I closed it and put all the fucking Drywall Nation stuff in it. I was like, Brian's gonna either fucking think this is funny or this will be the end of our friendship. And I was like, I'm pulling the trigger.
yeah, dude. I thought the same. I was like, this is either gonna piss Brian off, like push him over the limit, or he's gonna go right along with it. And I was glad to see that he went right along with it.
Oh yeah, and I was like, this will be the if we're friends or not. Like, I fuck around with everybody.
Hmm.
And yeah, he messages me like a couple of hours later. So when I didn't hear back, I was like, fuck, should I take it down? And then he fucking messages, LOL, you know. And I was like, I was gonna add that clip of him saying Fresco Harmony. I put that shit on everything. And he was like, save it for next time. So I kind of got to go ahead to do that. So but it's cool,
That's so
man.
good.
I've back and forth with him a little bit. I think once everything settles down, I'm gonna talk to him about maybe doing some work together. It'd be really cool to see Brian run the tools.
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. He hasn't been making as much work content. From what he said, the way he talked, it seemed just like he was busy doing the work, which I get that. Like we all get
Mhm.
there sometimes. Like you get so caught up doing the work that you don't have time to make the content that you used to.
And I kind of think that a guy like him is past doing content if you're not paying for it. Like
Hmm.
he's earned that.
But even
Um,
just his genuine like work content was always good. Like,
oh, totally, totally. Like stories and stuff, and he's
yeah,
very articulate. Like he's very good at um speaking and like explaining things.
yeah. There's a reason that page has gotten where it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was like one of the first, man. Brian's a goat.
Yeah.
I never ever tagged Drywall Nation on anything until after I met like Brian and he was cool, and now I'm starting to tag him on stuff. I always feel like you're backpacking. At least I always feel like I am if I'm like tagging fucking people shit that I don't even really know very well. Like,
Oh, dude, I just always felt like that was the thing. Like when I first started getting into it, like that was like the drywall hashtag, like drywall
yeah.
nation. You know?
I'd actually a couple of times somebody said Drywall Nation and I've been like, "Oh, like Brian?" And they were like, "Who's Brian?" kind of thing because it's the same thing cuz
Right.
if you put hashtag welder nation or electrical, you know, that kind of stuff, that's just like a regular hashtag for people. So that like it was really smart. That's just a really smart name.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Those socks are dope. Did you wear your socks?
Oh yeah, dude. They're laying on my floor. I just wore them yesterday. I was
I'm wearing
supposed
the
to
socks right now. No, I
I
can't.
was gonna
No.
say pics are no proof.
I'll show you. Boom.
He does.
That's right,
And the
Brian.
the writing on them is correct as well. It's just your glasses.
Maybe these stickers are backwards. Isn't that hilarious?
That
Some like
is so
cross-eyed
funny.
person.
It's like you can read it from your perspective.
I can. It's for me. Yeah, see, this is on brand. I don't do this shit for anybody else. Uh,
I'm
Corey
so
Reed.
selfish. My glasses are even.
That I had to fucking do that, and I've had a lot of fun with it because it's like I am quite self-conscious about things sometimes, but it is just so easy to get over it if you just like pretend that you are just so in love with yourself. It's so great. And then being obnoxious is fun. That's for
Oh, I
sure.
enjoy it. I think everyone enjoys that.
Yeah.
Like,
When Big Dog tried to fucking turn that into something else, I was just like, oh, I'll turn that into something else.
I'll lose my voice for this giveaway.
Oh yeah, you don't think I'll spend a whole day as Macho Man with my kid here? Like, I was in front of that camera as Macho Man for probably like 2 hours that day, and
I
just being
bet.
like,
Yeah.
and like doing all kinds of crazy shit. And then I was able to cut it all together and it worked. But oh man, that was a lot of fun. But Corey, he messages me still, and he's like, people are still sending me Macho Man shit.
Ah, that's
So
hilarious.
I think,
I think if I get a CSR bucket from the travel podcast, I think I'm gonna do a giveaway with that tech try because I've already got one.
yeah, dude.
Why not give it away?
And the highlight of that is that it could be 300 stickers with it.
Right.
If you
Absolutely. And I could get rid of a few of them.
if you do a giveaway, I will give you a hat for that bucket.
Oh, I've still got a giveaway. I've got 3 hats to get to you. I've got them. Should
I
I just direct ship them to the winners? Do you just want to send me their address and I could just output a shirt with it too or something?
oh, if you want, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
we'll have
I was
to.
gonna take it from you at Siri, but yeah, I'd love it if you incurred all the cost for this. It would be great for
Okay.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just afford it on to Corey. No, I'm kidding.
Uh, that's what you got to do. Send them to Corey. We'll, we'll just have everybody send all the stuff to Corey. Actually, if you give me Faith's, she's up the road. Oh, and the other girl's from. You just see what it costs.
I was gonna say, well, if they're in your country, I'll give them to you,
Yeah, that's why I
and
was
then if
thinking
they're in
that.
my country,
Yeah,
and you could even get if you've got stuff for that, like, because drywall bodybuilder, I think he's from Florida.
yeah, Josh.
If you want to bring me his stuff, I'll ship it out for you. I think it'd be cheaper for both of us if we did it that way.
See, look at us. What a fucking team. The fresco scope,
Dude, it's not cheap to ship merch out.
it is not.
I was gonna
The
do a merch sale last week until I found out that like by the time I ship everything out, I'm gonna be losing money or charging people $30 for a t-shirt. And I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to pay
man,
$30 for a t-shirt.
that's why these fucking hats, I get them from a certain place because I want to be able to just make a custom hat for my buddies. Like I got you a military hat like this. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
like that, I think. I don't remember what color it is.
It's a darker camo.
Did I show you? Yeah, okay.
Oh no,
Um,
I thought you meant the one that you already gave me.
oh shit, I hope they're not the same. Oh well,
I hope
you'll have a new one.
you just spoiled it. I didn't know I was getting a new hat from you.
Oh yeah, everybody's getting hats. And you're getting one of
Yeah,
the other kind of hats too.
the last one got beat.
Yeah. Um, so the reason I'm saying that is I go into lids and I basically get half price. So if the hat's $50, I pay 25 for it. And then instead of paying the whatever it is, $20 to embroider it, I pay $10 or whatever. But like the hats are fucking $40 or whatever, like whatever it turns out to. And like every hat's different too. Like Aaron's big giant head is expensive, but I like him a lot. They ship in 8-inch hats of those fitted hats. And it's the only thing that I think is going to be comfortable for him. So I fucking, but that's what I mean. I can do that for him and get it. Like, I don't think anybody has gotten a personal hat from me that's been the same as somebody else. Surrey, I've made some pretty dope ones that match. So there's like a bunch of ones that match for the site. And then, you've got a special one. Aaron's got a special one.
Cool.
But yeah, you can't sell those, right? Like first, how do you pick the kind, right? And then you got to pay for the hat, and then you got to ship it. It'd be a fuck $100. I'm not selling $100 hats, man. Just not doing it. But if you want a
No,
troll
I'd like to
hat,
bridge that gap and
you can use my fucking discount code. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
nothing. I don't know where I was going with it. That was
Um,
perfect. I guess I'll add to that. And if you want to save 10% on Fresco Harmony, use Itchy Man 10.
you made a story that was like a oh, I don't know if it was a story or if it was a post, but it was use Itchy
It's probably
Man
both.
Cam 10. And so I
Yeah.
screenshotted it and I was gonna just put Brawley's Dad 10 over it and post it on my stories.
You should have,
I
dude.
know, I
I would have
know.
shared it. I would have totally shared it. Has anybody used your code? Do you even know? I don't even check it.
So a bunch of people have, or at least they said they have, and I haven't seen anything. Um, but you never know, right? And you don't know how long
Right.
it takes. And like Tron said that. He's like, there's stuff to do with like cookies and all kinds of silly shit on the back end. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that it
I represent their product because I like their clothing and
100%.
I
It
think
has
it's
nothing to do
cool.
about the
I
money.
love being part of that group chat. There's so many big accounts in there and people to bounce ideas off of and just things to learn. Like it's been huge overall. Like I could give a shit less if people use that 10%
No,
code.
if
But
anything,
I'm gonna throw it out there and support their clothing company.
that's exactly why I'm doing it. Like I don't expect any sort of like same with CSR. I got a discount code for there too, but I've never sent them PayPal information. I don't want anything, but I'm happy to like throw the CSR name out every single time that anybody's talking about a place where they should be buying stuff. Um, Tron kind of had to step in on the group chat today. It's really,
Yeah,
yeah. There's like a lot of like,
I started to tune into that, and I saw what was going on with the group chat, and I didn't like it.
no, I don't like that shit.
There's you don't add to hate. Like
Yeah.
if somebody's leaving a hateful comment, you ignore it. Like that's how you stop that.
Yeah.
Adding to it with more negativity is not the right thing to do.
He was calling it rallying the troops. And that is what you're doing, where it's like, see this guy? Fuck this guy. And like, you don't even know the other person. And a lot of these people are trash. And like, I really would hate them in person too. I don't like it. I sent him a message today after the group chat or after that live. And I was just like, I've kind of been like doing this community thing in the drywall space. And like, it's really hard to pick who sits at the table. Like if people are negative and shit, you can't have them around. You can't. Like, can you imagine having like a fucking complainer, like basher, like manipulator at an adventure? No way.
Mm-mm.
You can't do that. And I think, you know, but it gets like that too, man. And especially when you've got like crew, everybody wants to support each other and everybody wants to protect each other, and it just gets out of hand if it's not wrangled in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when you talk, or even like, I don't even talk to some of these people. I just listen. I'll just read that group chat. I'll like put this thing so they know it's me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But dude, they've got 100,000 followers, and like when they're talking about what times and how they do things, and like when they're having those conversations, like where else would you get that? You won't.
Nowhere. You
Yeah,
can't pay for that knowledge.
no. And it's been handed to you. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
worried about a 10% discount code. Where's your $5 off a hat? I'll pay you $5. You keep me in that group chat.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah,
think
there's
it's
value in just that.
in its community. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Absolutely.
and the other trades have it, right? There are these huge communities of like people that get along. I think we have them too. But I mean, like working together and like going to events and stuff together. Like Gordon, Adam Gordon is the plumber. I've worked with him before. Like I know him. Um, and he's got it, man, figured out. He does his social media stuff, and like he's I don't know. I would love to see taping get there, where
Mm-hmm.
you're taken care of, like it's being paid for all kinds of stuff. Like it's not, it's cool. It's cool stuff.
I think it's
And
getting there.
oh yeah. And it's not about the money. It's more about like how do you get more people? Like if people were making, sorry, let me start again. You would hesitate less to come to events if you were making a little bit of money on the side. Like it would have been dope to have the girls in Florida. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like we would have got them their own house or whatever, like Aaron offered. But it's like, you've gone on vacation and like you've got work to do and that kind of stuff. It's just kind of, sometimes it doesn't work out. But it seems like these
Yeah, it's
plumbing,
hard to lose money for 3 days. And I mean, even after traveling for that, like you almost need a day of resting.
oh,
Um,
totally.
yeah, it's hard to take that loss.
But I don't see it like that. I see it as like because everything's paid for. It's a vacation
Oh no,
that
yeah, absolutely. It's well, that's like the group chat. There's value in going to those events and meeting
that's
those
right.
people and shaking hands and just getting to meet all those new people that we met this year was crazy, you know?
Well, I mean, like Hayden's one of my favorite new people. Like every once in a while, you like Nate. Like where would you have ever met Nate? You never would have crossed paths. We live like an hour away from each other. But going to CSR, like you meet these people and they're fucking super cool.
Oh, I'm super excited. There's that fresco event going on
Are you
in
gonna come? Are you
CSR,
gonna are
like
you gonna
June.
fucking
Yeah,
road trip?
Nick's gonna fly into Columbus and I'm
Nice.
gonna pick him up. We're gonna come hang out with you guys.
He floated that by me while we were down in Illinois, and I was just like, I bet he will. I bet he will do that. I would
Yeah,
push
you
it.
know
I
I
would
will.
push him. um,
Yeah, he just brought it up on the podcast there. I'm totally down.
oh my God, I have notes. My facial recognition doesn't work with these ridiculous glasses on.
Notes on
um,
our podcast, crazy.
I know. When Nick was like, "You came down for 2 weeks," and you responded, "The worst 2 weeks of my life." I I laughed right out loud, very loud, sitting in an airport. Because I knew it was just such a good burn. Because it's a joke or whatever, but man, there was a couple good ones, man.
Oh, Aaron said that he said you're gonna have to go on Sean's podcast because Nick's never gonna invite you back on his.
uh, yeah. There's two things on this
Well, we had
podcast. Don't go ahead.
on this one or on Nick's podcast.
No, I was saying there's two things about this podcast. You're always welcome here, and you're always welcome to bash Nick here.
Oh shoot! I
He
think Nick
gets
and
a
I had
lot
a
of love.
lot. Yeah, Nick and I had a lot of fun on that episode.
It was great. I needed that, man. Sitting at the airport all that fucking day. It was like, I yeah, it was great. And it wasn't like a backstory podcast. It was like you guys hanging out and talking about stuff. I really liked it.
Well, that's the thing. Like Nick and that was the most comfortable that I've been. Like as how it is. Like the more podcasts that you do, the more comfortable that you are. And what are we at? Like 10 now or so.
You and me, probably. I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Um, yeah, man, because you came on for like Columbia ones and my birthday and the one with Josh and like there's been a bunch, dude.
I've got them all in my link tree, so
Do you really?
yeah. Yeah, if you go to my Instagram bios, they're all except for the newest one. I haven't got that one in there yet.
That's dope, man. It's always
Yeah.
a good talk, man. It's when you get along with somebody and like we spent quite a bit of time together last year, if you think about
Yeah,
it.
we get to see each other almost quarterly now, which I
Yeah.
like.
Yes. The other note is buy a compound tube from CSR, and then I wrote beside it, use Brawley's dad for 10%. Shameless plug. Yeah. And then the other thing
I gotta wait for that carbon fiber one to come out.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you had said is you're gonna have to go to CSR and buy one. And I was just like, yeah, use my discount code. And then there's something here that says wasting time playing with Fresco. And I totally did that too.
Oh, it's a rabbit hole. It's
Yeah.
easy to go down. I've still got probably 50 sample boards just kicking around my shop.
Mhm.
Just different things that I tried. And I think it's better, like it's good to practice with sample boards and get familiar with them. But I
Mhm.
think it's better to wait until you find what the customer wants and then order your colors accordingly. I've got probably 20, 25 buckets of Fresco sitting in my garage right now that I just haven't used or they're just
Yeah.
kicking around. And I don't know if I'll ever sell those colors. Like I think it would have been better to wait until I had a color in mind and then ordered them.
So
But they're not going to waste. Like I'll use those colors eventually if I have to. I'll tape a house with them.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's mud. Um, um, so now if somebody wants a sample because they want work done, I'm gonna start doing uh 36 by 2
A
and
little
just
bit
make
bigger.
it because then it's like this big.
You
You
get to
know
see
what
the
I
movement more when you're I like
yeah.
that. I did the same thing. I did like a 36 by 36. It was too large.
Wow. Yeah, it
Um,
has to be skinnier. You can't pick it up. Probably looks ridiculous.
mhm. Yeah, but I feel like that's crucial. Seeing it on a larger scale. I feel like the 16 by 16 sample board's just not. Once they see it on a large scale and know what it looks like, then it is enough. But I think like first time seeing Fresco, you need to see it on a larger scale.
Um, Cullen, I don't know if he closed it or not, but it was like a fucking apartment building or something. And it was like thousands of feet. in units, like every unit would have a feature wall kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I advised him to get a 4x8 sheet and fresco it. Like do that as
Yeah.
your sample. Yeah, like get some real estate and then figure out how you like it because he's never done it before. So he's gonna take a fucking massive job. Like you can't
He's
screw it
good.
up. You know what I
No,
mean? He's gonna do a great job. But I was like, that's how I would do it.
he said that he's got a fresco job coming up this week, so maybe
I bet it is. I
that'd be
bet it
cool.
is.
I
Oh,
originally messaged him and was like, "Hey, if you got any work, like I'll come down and work with you for a couple days or something." Like I just wanted it to be more worth the trip out there,
yeah,
like than just selling the taper. Like for $500, really, it
that's your
would take me an
trip.
entire day to drive there and back, and $100 in gas. Like it's not worth it. Again,
Hmm.
I'm literally just doing it to give him a good deal,
Yeah,
and somebody gets to use the taper.
yeah, man, and that's super cool.
Hmm.
Um, I gave Nate the box handle I don't use because the same thing is just sitting there, man. I'm not gonna use it. Anything
I've got a
that's
couple other tools that are sitting in my building that I'm probably just gonna throw in with it and just be like,
yeah,
here, take this. Like,
make him a little care package.
yeah,
Well, I think you ruined it because it's coming out today.
that's all right.
Now you have
Hype
to.
it up for him.
All right, I better see on your stories that you.
I'm gonna have to be Sean for that day. All
That's
right.
right.
Good morning. We're traveling out to Illinois.
Mhm. Man, I'd love to meet Colin. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, I thought that we were gonna get to meet him the last time we were in Illinois and we didn't get to, so I'm excited to get to meet him this time.
Yeah, man. Super cool guy. I started actually I didn't start. Nate started. We went out to lunch one time and I talked to him about like having an accountability group for like going to the gym. So it's like me and Steve and Cullen and Nate that are in that group. And it's cool, man. It's more of like a fuck around group now because I
Yeah,
don't think
damn,
any
homie. Thanks for the
and
invite.
I know. Well, I didn't want to like make it because you're in really good shape and we're all
I,
fat
I could
except
I
Steve.
could tell you were hesitant to even tell that story.
Yeah. Well, because it's kind of personal, but I mean, I'd like to do that, get a bigger group chat going. But on the same thing, I fucking hate group chats. I hate them.
I do too. No, like
Um,
I'm totally kidding. I
yeah,
just
yeah. But like this one was cool. It was a cool idea.
hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. We'll see where that goes now that I'll actually start doing it. Um, but
Tomorrow.
I know. Oh yeah. Um, and I'm gonna be on there like I'm gonna absolutely badger everybody in that group now. Every time I'm at the gym, I'm gonna be like,
You
"You're all
have to.
pussies." I know you. It's all about routine and discipline.
You're
What?
weak.
You're, you don't have the time. You have to make the time.
I can see you pumped up on test and trend here in
I'm
like
just like,
6 weeks.
Lord. It was like eating full chickens with the feathers still on. Um, yeah,
Do
dude.
your fucking job.
Or else. Um, I kind of I don't know. I get super competitive when I start like doing competitive shit though. So I've really got to rein it in.
Mhm.
So we'll see. I think it'll be fine. I said before on the podcast, I'm not gonna get big again. I'm just gonna like get healthy. Like it'll just be
Mhm.
like a thing in the morning, part of the routine, and then just see what happens with it. Like I'm definitely gonna lose some fat, and I know I'm gonna with the diet anyways. But I don't like it's. I don't want it to get to where it was before. It was like 3 hours a day. It was stupid. Like there's just no, you can't do that.
Yeah, my brother and I were just talking about that, how we used to go and like hit the gym twice a day
Yeah,
sometimes.
dude,
Just
you
work
look
out like
good.
crazy. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
what for?
yes,
I
yeah.
don't know. I feel like that people that I almost feel like you're going through some mental stuff. Like you're
Hmm.
working on doing some inner work there. So
I'll
everybody's
see.
going through it, man. We've all got different ways of dealing with it.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, nothing heals a breakup like the gym. I'll tell you that. And like,
Yeah.
if you're getting sober, the gym will get you
Mm-hmm.
sober. You know, the
Yep.
gym has like a lot of good things about it. And I mean, if it like turns into your new vice, it's still not good for your life, but it's way better for you. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you're too into your health, like you're never going to hear anybody say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think it's going to be good. I'm so excited for Surrey now. And the house is going to like sit there for 2 weeks or maybe even just a week.
I hope
Right?
it's nice and clean when we get there and it's
Hmm.
all ready to go.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to
And
Kamal, get some pictures and stuff. And, you know, I think he's super legit. What were you going to say? I cut you off.
I don't know. I just hope that it's all, I mean, I know that at this point it's been pushed back enough to where it should all be ready.
Hmm.
But yeah, I hope we get to go in there and just run it. Like everybody has fun. We're not pushed for being in a hurry or, we get to separate in teams and just make it enjoyable for everyone. I'm sure it will be. Like there's no
Oh,
getting all of us together and it being a bad time.
it's never going to
Like,
happen.
no.
Um, I had the plans out in Illinois this week and just like kind of once over it all again. All the windows that were supposed to be shadow bead have returns. So you can't put shadow beads on fucking returned windows.
Hmm.
So we're going to do chamfer bead around all the windows, which again is not a big deal. Um, but we're just going to have to find places to implement shadow bead or just not do it. And I think Hish is like six and a half dozen the other. He loved the idea of chamfer. And the fresco portion of it, like another 30% added in the final notes.
Hmm.
So like there's a lot of full rooms, um, as opposed to feature walls, which is cool. So
Nick keeps pushing it, man. He's good.
okay, I'm gonna send it to you after this. I sent it to Aaron because it was funny. But there's this picture of this like short, like super jacked guy talking to a girl, and she's like looking away because she doesn't want to talk. And it's like it's got like a million different like memes about it of like, you know, Ryobi trying to close a DeWalt guy or something like that. And
Yeah.
I was just like, Nick pitching Hish again for the whole house. And then the girl that wrote Hish.
Oh,
Oh
it's too
man.
good.
But it worked. I mean, we got more fresco. And I mean, I'm much happier to see it the way that it is because
Absolutely.
the more the merrier, of course. Um,
I was thinking earlier, I was like, oh man, that was awfully nice of me to invite like every tool company into Aaron's shop here.
right.
Sorry, Aaron.
Sorry, bro. We were just trying to help.
Awful
But
funny way of you guys helping.
yeah, sure does add a lot of work when you guys try to help. Uh, um, but I mean, he didn't even know he was doing the knives. Like that all
No.
happened last minute. And like, he had a connection with SurePro and like, really when Aaron kind of like cocked his head back and was like, you know what, I'm going to call some people. It's obviously that was the right move. And, you know, so that's super exciting. It's, I'm excited about it. And I am happy with who's coming. And CSR
Mhm.
is still involved and like
Yeah.
extra fresco. So I was talking to Chad about like, because we talked to Aaron about teams, right? Like putting everybody's name in a hat, and then you pick like, whatever teams. And that'd be fun because every day it would be random and you'd be working with somebody else. So there's 6 rooms upstairs, right?
Hmm.
So everybody could kind of have their own room upstairs. And then, but like, so my room, I'll do the way I do it. And then people that are on my team will see how I do it and like kind of see the process. And everybody who's like on my team, you would go and do their rooms too. So like
Hmm.
every day, everybody sees the process either from yesterday or today, and like you really will see what everybody's process is. I thought that was a cool idea. And then just do the downstairs like we fucking fuck around and like do like whatever way we want. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
how to do it.
freestyle downstairs.
Yeah. I just thought that would be like a neat way of doing it. Cause then
Hmm.
like because my the way Chad finishes drywall and the way I finish drywall are different, and you can't overlap his method and my method because like I do 3 coats, so my first and second coat are very different than his first and second.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like I'm
Hmm.
was wondering how the hell you would do that. And like the girls are hawk and trowel, right? So like, are you going to come into their room and run a box on it? That sucks, right? They're fucking rocking and rolling their own way. And like,
Hmm.
there was talk of a super taper. I absolutely think in those rooms we should super tape it. Everybody should see
Yeah, I've
how.
never seen one work.
That's what
Yeah.
I mean. When I worked with that Bill guy, he was super taping ceilings faster than I was running the auto taper because he's just like pulling it out, wiping, pulling it out, wiping, pulling it out, wiping. Like he was so fast and everything was so perfect because he's been doing it for so long. Your thumb
Hmm.
lands on the right spot and then you drag the knife and then you slap it into the bucket on your waist and then just zoop, 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 zoop everywhere. Like angles he would let me do and like on the floor. But I mean, doing ceilings on his stilts or me doing it on the auto taper, he's twice as fast because he's wiping. Right now,
Hmm.
you have to have somebody there moving shit out of your way and like giving you more boxes of stuff, I guess. But you'd need a wipe guy anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool
I'm
idea.
interested to see it. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it works. And
Hmm.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, rock and roll, man. And like,
My way is not the only way, and I am well aware of that.
same.
And I think
Yeah.
that's everybody that's going to this job.
Well, and I mean, there's people like you and Danny Moody, and even for a certain amount, me, where it's almost all machines all the time. Like you're boxing
Hmm.
your beads, like you're doing all that kind of stuff. Like I still hawk and trowel my beads just because I'm not
Yeah.
there yet. I've even gone as far as boxing the bead and then troweling it afterwards or
Mhm.
tomahawking it just to like smooth it out. But I sit there and I'm like, it's faster hawk and trowel. So why would I like implement two different things? I just need to work on it. It's
Absolutely. Practice, and
that's
you
it.
lose time when you're practicing on
Yes.
things like that. Should
Yeah.
believe me, I was hesitant to box speed for the longest time because I lost time learning. And that's everything in drywall. Like we're hesitant to try new tools, we're hesitant
Hmm.
to change. Um, because you've got your system down. You know it makes you money. It's hard to take a step back and lose a little bit of money.
Yeah. Because learning new stuff costs you money.
It
Like
does.
like when Hayden gets this Predator, in the long run, it's going to make him a lot of money, but in the short term, he will be slower.
Hmm.
There's no
Dude,
there's
when
no doubt
I
about
was
it.
a straight hand taper, and when I first got my Predator, like there were days where I would put it down and I'd just
Yeah.
go back to hand taping. I wasn't efficient with it. I was jamming. It's
Hmm.
just an awkward tool. Like the taper's heavy. Like if you're not used to holding that taper, it's awkward.
Yeah.
It's like a dance whenever you get good with it. It's like you
Yeah. Well, and you kind of get it out in front of you, and it's like the weight's in front of you. You just keep running behind it, and like I've got to the point now when I'm running stuff where I just kind of get into this like not quite like a trot, but your feet are moving just twice as fast, but the rest of you stays the same.
Hmm.
And man, you can pick up the speed like and you're still running the box. I think Brad was calling it statuing, which is like a skateboarding term. But you're holding your box a certain way, and the top half of your body is just locked. And then you can move as fast as you want until it starts like moving your body, and then you have to slow down a little bit. But I've started doing that, like kind of double stepping, and I'm like, okay, we can do this a little faster. I'm
Oh, it's
comfortable.
it's fun when you do like you get music going and you're just running around getting shit
Hmm.
done. It's fun. That's
Yeah.
why I love this trade.
Yeah, man. I don't think there's another one like it. Like electricians, maybe they do, but I don't think they're ever like in a 10,000 board foot house, like running. I don't think you're ever running. I think it's all like slow
Mm-mm.
work and it's intricate. Like with us, we can fucking give her, man.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's very cool.
I was listening to your and Brad's podcast, and I liked you said something about hitting that mark every day,
Hmm.
checking that mark every day.
Yeah.
I
Ring,
really that resonated. Yeah, ring that bell.
ring the bell.
Yeah, that really resonated with me because I feel like I've had some slow days here lately.
Hmm.
And those days where you're just doing office work or you're just straightening up the shop, like you're not seeing work getting done. So at the end of the day, like you don't have that satisfaction. There's satisfaction in just doing work.
Yeah,
Like so
it's
yeah.
important,
I,
man.
I just I heard that and I wanted to mention that to you. I thought that was cool.
It took me a long time to figure that out, man. I'm such a fucking fuse, and like I get pissy if I'm, and it's all energy expenditure. Like it's like I've not, it's like a dog that hasn't gone for a run. Like
Right,
they're like,
absolutely. Yeah, you've got that pinned up energy.
yeah, why is this dog chewing the shit out of all my stuff? It's like, well, when was the last time you took it for a run? Like it's the same thing, you know? And some dogs just like to chew. So everybody settle down about that. Um, but yeah, that is the way that I feel. And I think the gym's going to give me that too. On some of the days that are just slower days, I'm still going to be able to like just blow off some steam.
Hmm.
Because I found that too, man. I was starting to get short with people. Like there are these complainers, and I just don't have time for it. And I'm sorry for the people that are like that, but I don't have time for that. But I'm always kind about it. And I was starting to feel like I was giving people some pretty hard love there for a sec. And I think they need to hear it, but I mean, you know, I needed that time off, and I think I need to like focus on blowing off some energy. On the days that I don't, I've got to go do something because it's, yeah, I don't know.
I 100% feel that.
That trip, man, it was like I found what I needed out there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it like, I don't know. It was exactly what I needed.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you got to take that little trip, even though it didn't work out as planned in the
Hmm.
original, you know.
Well,
It was still good timing.
it was going to be a thank you to me for doing that, for doing the big site. And I mean, I think it was more about like needing it than it being like a, you know what I mean? Like it was time.
Oh
And
yeah.
I came
Yeah, that
back
job should have happened when was it originally
in
set for?
January.
January.
Yeah.
Here we are in May.
Well, but I mean, if somebody's like, "Hey, man, you want to throw a wicked party or like do go on vacation or do something like that," everybody's gonna be like, "Yep," and we're doing it tomorrow. And it's like, okay, but you know, and then it was like, okay,
Yeah.
so realistically, we're not even close. So we're gonna push it back a little bit. And then again, like, I mean, this should have just been
No, man,
3 months out booked or whatever, and we would have been fine. But I think we just all were so
it's
excited about doing it.
it's also not an average project either. It's
No,
not just like a 3, 4 bedroom ranch.
yeah,
It's a massive house.
yeah. I mean, 30,000 board feet's a big house, man. That's a lot of places for problems. That's a lot of places for changes. That's a lot of like when you're in a house that size, your electrical's not all going to be the same. Your HVAC's all like linears and like all that kind of shit. Like it's not all just regular shit. So it just takes longer. Um, you know, the builder's not a huge builder. So I'm sure the guys are buggering off to go do other stuff too. Just because
Hmm.
it's just that's how the trades are sometimes, which sucks, but it is what it is. Um,
Yep.
I'm so happy we're there though.
Yeah, Nick and I were kind of talking about how homeowners get bullied around a little bit in the building process by contractors.
I bet you if you were able to deep dive on the people that are working there, like they're probably charging like 20 or 30% more than they do from everybody else. And their timelines are probably 3 or 4 times as long because they just,
Hmm.
you know, it's a homeowner. They're not going to build another house. This is the only work you're going to get from that person. So it's not, you know, if you don't keep them happy, who cares? And I mean, I think guys that have 2 and 3 jobs at a time, that's got to be how they're thinking about it. You're going to
Hmm.
tell your huge
Yeah.
builder that gives you 50 grand in work every year to settle down? Probably not.
No, you're gonna do whatever that guy wants.
That's right. Yeah. Oh man, the fresco. I'm super stoked. So you and I are going to do that home theater room. It's ceiling too, ceiling and all the
Cool.
walls. And we'll just do like content. And then I talked to Nick. I was like, everything else can just be a free for all. I don't know. And then if we do the rooms idea, we'll just we'll just pick the rooms that have the fresco for the people that do that. Like
Yeah, the
my
people that
room
want
will
to do it.
be one of the ones with fresco. It'll just be the way it is. I'll still three
Mhm.
coat it just to show everybody if they want. I don't know. I, I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, so stoked.
Yeah, it's not gonna be long, man. You're gonna be getting a bunch of snaps from me the end of this week when I'm out in Illinois.
I'm so excited. I'm excited for you to get back out there. Chad's got something special going on, man. He's got like the right market, the right customers. His biggest enemy, if you will, his biggest competition is one of his best friends.
Yeah.
They discuss, of what who's doing what and how are they doing it. Chad doesn't want a board, and why would you go get your own borders? You got your buddy. He's got a business. He paints too, so it's like,
Hmm.
and it's just flourishing. And I mean, the way that he's doing it and the way that he's quoting it, you got three houses at the same time next week. Think about that. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot going on.
And the only way to do that is to bring in people that you trust, though. Like you can't just sub that workout, or that'll be the last time you get a house from that builder when they're expecting Chad to do it and he brings in like whoever,
Hmm.
or you got to go in and fix it all up. It's yeah, I'm excited for you to go, man. What are you guys going to be doing? Just taping? Like it just a regular
I
house?
think so. Yeah, yeah, he's got two. I think he's got three houses and then another smaller project. No fresco. They didn't
No.
mention any fresco. Um, but yeah, I'll be excited to just get back into some new build taping. Load up all of my Columbia tools in the car and just drive for 7 hours. I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay, but you have to, when you were talking about your love affair with your tools, which was hilarious, by the way, when you're like, you know what I mean? I want you to set that drywall taper up in the front seat and just be like, like you're taking a dog out to a farm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like get some content of it sticking its head out the window and stuff.
I thought about that too because I thought about ripping the clip off of Nick's podcast or maybe one out of this. But yeah, I think that'd be hilarious. I wanted to make some sort of reel of me taking it to Colin and like giving it its new home. So yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, man. That's smart. That's so cool. How's your TikTok going, man? I feel bad that I don't have it. But it was just another one of those things that like felt like a time suck. I'm
Oh, you're
I'm
good.
yeah, I'm never gonna.
There's the only reason I got on there is to monetize, and I'm finally hit that mark in December. I'm at like 15.8 thousand followers right now,
Nice.
which back in January I just hit 10K. So we're growing. We're getting there. It's just a matter of a video going off, It's always the ones you don't expect.
Hmm.
You pour your heart into a video, you throw it up there, and it's like 1,000 plays, and you're like, what the? You spend no time at all in a video, and you throw it up there, and it goes off. So it's growing though, man. It's good, making a little bit of money off of it. So, and I feel like that number can keep growing. Like, I mean, if it's gotten to that point this far or this quickly, like I'm just gonna keep pouring energy into it and see where it goes.
Fuck yeah, dude. And you're good at it. You know what I mean? Like
I
there's
enjoy
no.
it. There's a fucking there's a TikTok by J Wall. I don't know if you follow J Wall finishes or not,
I'm just
but
starting to on Instagram.
dude, he made a video where he's like, when you're finally able to monetize off your content, but you realize your content is your job, so you can't quit working.
Yeah. The Gilbert Girls had something like that. I'm like, I bet. But it's like it's the handcuffs, right? Where you're like, because what the fuck would you go to work for anymore if you started making a bunch of money? But that was the only way to do it. It's like, damn it. You're just a really well
But
paid
nah, man,
finisher.
yeah, dude, I love doing drywall, so
Me
I
too.
don't think I'm gonna mind, you know. I just hope that I keep get to travel more doing it. Like that's what I really think's fun with it. It's getting out and doing these adventures, getting to hang out with you, getting to see Aaron all the time.
Yeah, I
That's what's
mean,
fun for me.
This one that Chad's got coming up, man, it's like 35 or 40,000 board feet. It's fucking
Shoo.
huge. We were there, and the walls are just going up on the main floor, and it's gorgeous. It's right on the lake. You remember that place that we went and looked at for the fresco work, where it was like right on
Mm,
the lake, that bedroom?
mm.
It's
Yeah.
it's a almost identical view. So that, like, I mean, if we stick to the plan, like, you'll be there. I'm talking to Corey about doing 4th of July, get a house
Yeah.
down at where he is. Because I said I wanted to be there for the 4th of July, and I really want to. And I mean, if he can pick up a site, like, I think a couple of
Dude,
us
it
would.
looked crazy 4th of July. There was last year or the year before last.
I think it was last year, man. He's like sending me pictures. They're on like ATVs, and they had to stop. I'm like, what's he stopping for? And someone's shooting fireworks off in the middle of the
I think
road.
I saw a
Like,
bald eagle riding a bottle rocket,
yeah,
shooting a Roman
America.
candle.
He's such a good sport with the America fuck yeah. Um, that one, after I announced the winners, it was like a guy on a bicycle, and he was like, everything was American flag, like his underwear, and he had like fucking Roman candles going off. And I was like, fucking Corey, when the winners are announced. I don't know why that stuck, but like that America fuck yeah, that is Tech Dry Tools to me.
Yeah, Tech Dry is American as can be.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what comes to my mind when I think of Tech Dry. It's
Yeah.
America.
America. Do you listen to Rogan at all?
Huh.
No. Okay.
Now, my
So,
podcast are yours and Nick's.
oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
that's enough for me, for sure.
That's
Yeah, I haven't got to check out the Highway Hopper one yet.
it's really good. We talk about a lot of things. She had this post, and she's like real skinny on the one side, and then on the other side she's like healthy now. Um, but it is like of the midsection in her butt and like a pair of jeans. And I was like, oh my God, she's gonna get hammered on the comments for this. And so I read the caption, and the caption's all about like, this is 3 years ago. This is my journey. I wasn't healthy. Like, and it's like a real like reach out to the young girls. They're like anybody that's really having that problem. Typically it's girls though. And
Yeah.
I reached out to her, and I was like, I just want to let you know that I'm like super proud of you for doing that, because I know the repercussions of sending this out there, and good for you, because it's a message that people need to hear. And I said, like, if you ever want to come on the podcast and just like talk real subjects anytime. And like we did it 2 days later. But it's a good one. She's a
Yeah.
smart girl, man. Her husband's dope. I met them yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, they were in Salt Lake. Um, and as I'm driving into that airport, I'm there like 4 hours early, and she's on her story saying that she was there. And I was like, well, like, I don't have to get to the airport till like 1 o'clock. I was flying in at 4. Um, and we went for lunch. I bought him lunch. It was dope. They're
Wow, that's
they're
awesome.
really cool people. Her husband's super cool. He's like covered in like Star Wars and Marvel tattoos, and like just real smart.
Yeah.
They're gonna do really well for themselves. They've got like a plan to build a house and like what it's gonna be like, and like they're big planners, and it's all
Tell them to give
smart.
us a call when it's time for travel.
I literally said that. I was like, we'll make an adventure out of your house, man. That'd be cool. But yeah, it's a good podcast. As if I'll ever tell you one of mine's bad.
Right. But I don't expect them to be.
Yeah, right. There's some that I think are questionable, man. That's
We'll
that
blame the
one.
guest though.
Yeah, totally. Which is funny, because I was going to bring up the one that I did on my own, and then you're like, blame the guest. I'm like,
No,
I,
I like the one that you did on your own. Are you gonna try and do another one?
I'm going to continue.
You did them
Yeah.
at the beginning of it, didn't you?
The first three. Yeah, the
Yeah.
first three was like a check-in on me,
Before you
and
could get
like,
anybody to get a guest.
yeah, but where people were like, no, I'm not going to come on your, we're like, we don't even like you as a person. We're not coming on your podcast. Actually, people were really receptive, man. Like when Lydia in the beginning came on, I was shocked. But like you and Josh, like, we had a couple of good ones in the beginning, but they were super clunky.
Yeah, you've had some big people on here, some bigger names.
I think it's time to kind of do another round now that I'm way better at it. And like it's not broken into parts and like I know how to
Yeah.
use the cough button, like little things. um yeah, I
I
don't
get a
know,
kick
man.
out of your and Brad's podcast. Um, it was the second smoke break, and I'm like, dude,
Hmm.
you guys just took a smoke break like 30 minutes ago. I'm like, I'm only an hour and like 15 minutes into the podcast. You want to take another smoke break? Yeah, we'll take another smoke break.
So fucking he comes over like and he hangs out here for like 7 hours or 6 hours on those days and we just like shoot the shit. Um and like I wish that we could just do the 7 hours of the because we talk just like we're talking on the podcast that whole time. Like he's such a wealth of
just
knowledge, right?
just like you and I did for what, 10, 15 minutes before we started this one.
That's right. I like these ones, man. I just get barbecued and like hang out with you.
Absolutely.
It's
It's like anytime we're hanging out together.
literally, and we have a good time, man. And the work gets done, and like I don't know, I'm always very relaxed. It was really cool when we went out west to Surrey, and we all just hung out. Have you been on
Mhm.
since then? No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
I don't know.
It occurred to me like halfway there that we didn't have anything to do, and we were just gonna be able to hang out. And I was like, man, that is awesome. Like we literally went on vacation, kind of.
We did a little bit of fresco, but we didn't even finish that job, like sadly. I mean, just the odds weren't in our favor for that as far as like dry time.
No, I mean with you and me and Chad, like last month.
Oh, that one. I'm thinking back to when we went to Salt Spring Island last June.
No, no. You know what's so funny?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was fun.
That was a win in my books.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Thanks for the vacation, Aaron.
Yeah, bro. You're the best. Not that Nick guy though. He sucks. Um, that's
For a limited time, 10% off Fresco Harmony. It's your man,
yeah.
Tim.
I really appreciate that, Nick. Cam's the only guy that spearheads for you, so I'm happy he's the one that got that.
I knew that he was going to get bashed on from you
I
and
know.
Chad.
I have no problem with it. I want that brand to grow. He messages me and he's like, "Thanks for all the content and stuff." And I'm like, "Dude, thanks for making the thing that I can do the content with." Like, this is
Yeah,
I love doing fresco. Um, yeah, I was good. That was cool though, man. 10% off. I'm happy that he's to the point where he can kind of do that now. Watching
yeah,
this
same.
brand flourish and I don't want to say nothing, but like as he was keeping it so close to his chest, and then it just took off. He started that podcast, and like think about it, in the course of 1 year last year, he's come a long way.
Absolutely, I think so too. I think he's growing. I think he's just going to keep going up from here.
Yeah, and it's
I'm
like
excited to see where Fresco goes.
well,
As
me
long as
too,
we keep
man.
putting it on the walls, it's bound to go up.
I think so, and I think this is going to end up being something that gets purchased. That's kind of the way that I'm seeing it happening. It's going to get big enough where somebody's just like, okay, this is like we're buying this, so what's the price? And then I mean, at
Hmm.
that point, as long as he can like schedule in that he's still part of it, that's the best thing for him, man. Somebody else is going to do all the bullshit. We can just adventure and like do all the cool stuff. I would love to see that for
That'd
him.
probably be good for him. Yeah,
Definitely, man.
take a load off of his shoulders. He could go do the trainings and everything.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
if you
think
had a
that'd be good.
marketing budget instead of sending people stuff and going the influencer route, you could spend a marketing budget on doing adventures.
Mhm.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to have you come up for that training. That'll be cool. I'm sure Brad will
Yeah,
pick up that
June.
house. Yeah, and we'll just all crash.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Um, what was I gonna say? Black Friday's back on.
Yeah. Brad, I don't know if we should put this on the air or not, but Brad might try and find us a house to finish. around that time.
Yep.
That would be cool.
Yeah, man. But then just have a couple people come in, like, because I think everybody wants to come to CSR, and like some people live far away, dude. And it's like you can't be taking 4 days off because you got to fly in, then you got to do it, and then you gotta like you got to be able to come in for a week, do some work, have it at least pay for your trip, and then a little bit of your time or whatever. I hope so, man. I'm going to lunch with him tomorrow, and we're going to talk about a couple
Cool.
of things.
Yeah, put that bug in his ear.
Oh yeah, I'll be like, remember when you
I
said you
think
would do
you
this?
can.
I'm gonna
I
nick
think
him.
I think Nick got that discount code approved for CSR's website too. So if you're in Canada, you can still save 10% on Fresco.
I would love to see that discount codes for Fresco,
Yeah.
because like Columbia Tools, sure, like, and I love it, but I mean, it's not a consumable,
Hmm.
right? So if you were smart and you started doing a little bit of Fresco work, you could like go in and buy $1,000 worth of Fresco and then get 10% off of that. That's a big chunk.
Oh yeah.
Because some of the discount codes through CSR is like once. Like my Columbia one is once. You can go in there and buy every tool in that store on the first one and get 10% off, but I don't think it's reoccurring per person. But I don't know
Mm.
either. I just tell people to use it. It's like, oh, it didn't work. It's try it again on
Oops.
the next sale. Good, man. Anything else you want to talk about? We're about 2 hours in ish,
I
maybe a
think I
little.
think it's good to wrap up here, man.
Me too, man. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
on. It's always good to have you on,
Absolutely, man.
man.
It's always a pleasure being on here, man.
Good times. Everybody knows where to find Cam because he's famous. Uh, shout out to everybody that was in Florida. That was super cool. Everybody that's going to be coming out to Surrey, man, have so much fun next week. Like that's super
Oh
cool.
yeah,
The group
there'll
of
be a
you.
bunch of content coming out of that. Yeah, I'm excited to see the Gilbert girls. I'm excited to see Chad.
Yeah.
Excited to see the Hollywood. Excited to meet Colin. Like, there's a bunch of um Nick, the dude that we did the Roman clay bathroom floor, that Chad did the
Yep.
Venetian. That that job that you were hung over and just like bailed on us on.
Wow. I don't think that's how that happened. I don't recall that.
I
Uh,
think we started that Roman clay bathroom together, and
we
I think
did.
that I finished it without you.
No, I'm pretty sure you guys left me there because you wanted to do it on your own, and I felt really bad that you did that to me. Um, oh man, when you guys
Oh
got
shoot.
back, I was like, what the fuck happened last night? And Chad's like, well, you hugged Nick like you'd never see him again, and then you walked into the trailer. You guys like looked in the back of the truck. There was like fucking chicken nuggets and open beers everywhere. Like
Yep.
I was a mess.
That was a rough
Um,
night. Karaoke night.
yeah, man, I had a good time. Good.
Ah.
Well, the amazing Cameron.Brown. The winners, if you're listening, you'll get your hats eventually. And that's all I got to say about that.
And some
Uh,
tech dry stickers too.
and some Tech Dry stickers. And then if you do that giveaway, let me know. I'll send you a hat, man.
Yeah, for sure. I will. As soon as I get that swag bucket, it's gonna go up there.
Dope. Okay, everybody. Be humble, treat everyone the same, and do your fucking job. Oh, I didn't hit it.